The Philippines is being called Asia's rising tiger. But what exactly does this mean? Posting a GDP growth of 6.7% in 2017, the country has one of the fastest growing economies in the world, expanding at a rate unseen in the last 5 decades. The good news is, it's just getting started. The better news is that we have designed a brand new city to be the nucleus of this economic renaissance. Less than 1 hour from the capital, Manila, straddled by hills and blessed with tropical climate all year long, we are building the city of the future, a landmark development twice the size of Manhattan. Originally developed by the Americans for its secure and strategic location in Asia Pacific, Clark is being transformed into a disaster-resilient metropolis that will be competitive and attractive to a global market. It will consist of 4 main districts. The Clark Freeport Zone, an existing mixed-use complex established in the 90s. Clark Global City, which will serve as the primary business district. And New Clark City, which will house satellite government offices and a first-class sports village. Central to all of this is Clark International Airport, which will soon be expanded to accommodate up to 80 million passengers a year. This ensures that travel will be comfortable while trade is seamless. A city unmatched in connectivity, with access to world-class highways and the service of high-speed railways, connecting north to south and east to west, across surrounding seas and over oceans. Clark is a city built as living proof that business in this part of the world is not only easy, but simply better. With no red tape, lower taxes, and endless investment opportunities. This is a city prepared to attract talent so that the country's best and brightest will come here to work and choose to call this place home. Because this is a city that knows how to play, where you can unwind at your own speed, where safety is paramount, and people always come first. This is a city where history and culture thrive, where modern conveniences meet timeless traditions, and progress is driven by passion. This is a city with limitless ambition that may someday find itself among the great cities of the world, built for business so that time is always well spent, and built for people so that life is always well lived. This is Clark. The Philippines is being called Asia's rising tiger. But what exactly does this mean? Posting a GDP growth of 6.7% in 2017, the country has one of the fastest growing economies in the world, expanding at a rate unseen in the last 5 decades. The good news is, it's just getting started. The better news is that we have designed a brand new city to be the nucleus of this economic renaissance. Less than 1 hour from the capital, Manila, straddled by hills and blessed with tropical climate all year long. We are building the city of the future, a landmark development twice the size of Manhattan. Originally developed by the Americans for its secure and strategic location in Asia Pacific, Clark is being transformed into a disaster-resilient metropolis that will be competitive and attractive to a global market. It will consist of 4 main districts. The Clark Freeport Zone, an existing mixed-use complex established in the 90s. Clark Global City, which will serve as the primary business district. And New Clark City, which will house satellite government offices and a first-class sports village. Central to all of this is Clark International Airport, which will soon be expanded to accommodate up to 80 million passengers a year. This ensures that travel will be comfortable while trade is seamless. A city unmatched in connectivity, with access to world-class highways and the service of high-speed railways, connecting north to south and east to west, across surrounding seas and over oceans. Clark is a city built as living proof that business in this part of the world is not only easy, but simply better. With no red tape, lower taxes, and endless investment opportunities. This is a city prepared to attract talent so that the country's best and brightest will come here to work and choose to call this place home. Because this is a city that knows how to play, where you can unwind at your own speed, where safety is paramount, and people always come first. This is a city where history and culture thrive, where modern conveniences meet timeless traditions, and progress is driven by passion. This is a city with limitless ambition that may someday find itself among the great cities of the world, built for business so that time is always well spent, and built for people so that life is always well lived. This is Clark.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our season finale. Our last episode for HR on the Go. No, just for this season, of course, where top trends and hot topics relating to HR and people management are coming your way. So buckle up and prepare for takeoff. Now, HR on the Go is a joint collaboration of Clark HR Council and CPHR Philippines, airing live on the CHRC Facebook page every other Tuesday. So if you're looking to be featured on our next season, just send us an email at go@clarkhrcouncil.org. Or, of course, if you're interested in becoming a CHRC member, join us via www.clarkhrcouncil.org/join. Okay, so of course, no, as for our last episode, no, we'll be talking about no a very interesting topic because these uh, changes no of the result of the pandemic no is never ending no every minute, every hour, actually every day no there are changes that we have to face no daily no because of the pandemic situation. Now, of course, we'll be talking about change management transitioning to a post-COVID work environment. Now, of course, let's wait no more as I welcome no our partner no or speaker no for today's interview. Of course, before we tackle that, of course, so as businesses adapt to the future of work, change managers no must be prepared for quick innovation and changes. Understanding the trends influencing how we interact, of course, including buy and conduct business, can aid managers in preparing their teams for the successful implementation of an organizational transformation. Of course, using real life examples and insights from our experienced guest, Auie Villarin, a regional human resources leader, will help provide practical guidance on how to transition to post-COVID work environment proactively. Of course, without further ado, allow me to call our guest for this season finale, Auie Villarin. Ayan. Hi,
Hi, good
Auie. Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be part of this program, no? And ano ba yan? Parang last season na I hope this is not the last episode we're going to have for CHRC because this is really a good platform for us to learn a lot of things from that we could apply in our companies, di ba, as
Right,
HR
right.
leaders.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, we're looking forward to the season 2. Siyempre, wala pa tayong bibigay na details dyan because, of course, it will be a surprise for everyone. And of course, napaka-special nitong ating no, episode ngayon. Ikaw ang season ender namin, no? Ang last episode. Ayan, syempre para mas makilala pa natin ang guest, of course, no? Christian or Auie Villarin has more than 2 decades of professional HR experience who have worked in various industries like hotels, resorts, spa, restaurants, theme park, facilities, and services. His field of excellence includes talent management, talent development, labor, employee relations, and total rewards. And of course, he is known for being people-oriented who creates engaging relationship without compromising integrity. Professionals, here is Awi Villarin. Ayan. So of course, no, change management. It's a very interesting topic, yet a very hard a project for everyone, most especially for leaders. No, of course, change management teams went into overdrive in the
Mhm.
past years. No, just to keep, of course, pace with an environment that seemed to shift daily, if not hourly, di ba? And of course, the continuous flow of change kept coming and coming, and then 2 years and a half later, it seems that we're still not out of the woods, di ba? Parang dito pa rin tayo, hindi tayo naaalis. So, but of course, we begin to look forward, no, and look towards the future, shaping our organization. So, in this, in line with this, Awi, from the trends that you have observed, probably from what you have researched in the past years, no, since we are in a new era, what are the current workplace trends that you've noticed, no, in this post-pandemic era?
The pandemic has really changed a lot of landscape, the way we do
Right.
things, not only on the professional but also even in the personal life.
Mm-hmm.
In most cases, things became more online.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the collaboration, the meetings, discussion are all mostly done online. And
Right.
one of the good things that we have developed during this pandemic is creating an opportunity to work from home. I believe
Mm-hmm.
before the pandemic came in, there was a discussion proposing a 1 day work from home in other
Mm-hmm.
companies in Metro Manila. This is to ease the traffic because
Right.
instead of everyone traveling together, commuting together, may at least 1 day that they would just work from home. At least
Mm-hmm.
one vehicle would be uh, parang hindi na ito lalabas, no, to
Mm-hmm.
travel. At least this could
Tama.
help. But it wasn't really that uh, ano ba yan? Hindi siya ganun ka attractive to most
Correct.
companies before because they were thinking people will not become productive,
Correct.
counterproductive. Hindi yung magtatrabaho. They will just stay
Mm-hmm.
at home. But then just this pandemic, we realized work from home is really effective.
Mm-hmm.
However, meron din siyang downside.
Mm-hmm.
It's really effective at work, but somehow for some workers, it may not really that be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, on my experience, we start talaga, when we work naman, we start at 8 a.m. Pero
Mm-hmm.
during the pandemic, I'm sure a lot of people have experienced 8 a.m. meron ng meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Diretso
As early
yan.
as 8.
Hanggang 5 p.m. and sometimes ako ang pinaka matagal ko naging meeting during the pandemic is at 10 p.m. But
Mm-hmm.
even after
Grabe.
10 p.m., you still have to work. So those
Mm-hmm.
are the things that has changed, no, during this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
It may have brought a lot of good things. Meron din siyang sabihin nating challenging impact to the workers.
Right,
But
right.
in terms of delivering yung mga bagay na kailangan nating gawin,
Mm-hmm.
this alternative work from home setup, I would really say is really, really very helpful, not only to the organization, but also to the welfare of the employees, especially during the pandemic. A lot of people are really scared to go out, di
Mm-hmm.
ba, to
Mm-hmm.
travel. Kapag dati, during the pandemic, sumakay ka, nag-commute ka, pag umubo ka, lahat titingnan ka eh.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Pag when you sneeze publicly, lahat titingnan ka, kinakatakutan ka. So those
Totoo.
are, and you would really feel unsafe
Mm-hmm.
traveling. Kaya nga work from home setup is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
However, recently, I think March or April, when most people were required to go back home, ayan na.
Mm-hmm.
Nagkaroon ko
Mm-hmm.
na ng challenge resistance. Parang, why are we being recalled to go back home, or go
Mm-hmm.
back to
Office.
work in the
Mm-hmm.
office na? Doon na
Right.
tayo magtatrabaho. Merong kaunting resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, earlier I've read na for those who are at level 1,
Mm-hmm.
no, ina-accept na or we will be allowing 100% work in the office na full force at 100%. Kung
Mm-hmm.
naka-level 1. Though, I have to validate that one muna. Hindi ko talaga fully binasa yung article, pero I came
Right.
across with that suggestion at alert level 1, pwede na tayo ng full capacity na
Mm-hmm.
100%
Mm-hmm.
work in the office.
Mm-hmm. Right, and it's been happening to most companies already. This actually being experienced by our clients. Even if them providing rewards. Para lang mas ma-entice na back to office ang mga employees. They also do that. It's very hard because of course they're so used to working at home, and they said that we're productive naman. So if we're productive, why do we have to go back to the office? Of course, there are strategic goals related when we implement these back on site process, hindi ba? Of course, but of course we also need to weigh the opportunities and challenges between on site and working at home, and then some are even offering flexible working arrangement.
Okay.
Is it that correct, we so in that case, what problems might leaders expect as a result of the pandemic's changes in work arrangement and culture, apart from the resistance? Ano pa kaya mga posibleng challenges na kailangan pang isipin itong ating mga leaders? Because of course, when the employees decided to go back to the office, mukhang meron na naman tayong iisipin as managers at leaders. What problems do you think should leaders expect?
Of course, the resistance is really high, di
Mm-hmm.
ba? And some of them, if they will be required to go back for work, there are employees who are opting to resign. So
Right,
looking
right.
for a possible replacement for these people who would really find
Mm-hmm.
na work from home is a lot better for them. They
Mm-hmm.
find themselves productive. Yun ang ginagawa na, they would just resign. They
Mm-hmm.
would hope to look for employers who are still open for work from home setup. However, things are hindi nila nakikita eh. There
Right.
are companies who are still opting for a work from home setup until end of the year of 2022. However, there are
Mhm.
some companies naman na talagang required nang bumalik yung mga empleyado nila to work in the office. Yes,
Mhm.
they may be productive, 'di
Right.
ba? Na work from home still productive. And however, the collaboration is also needed na merong face-to-face collaboration that sabi niya human touch, 'di
Mhm.
ba? The thing that you see face to face is still different. I remember the first time that we saw each other in HR, parang everyone was so excited. Oh, sir!
Right,
Oh,
right.
ganito, kakaiba yung feelings. Iba pa rin
Mhm.
talaga yung merong human connection.
Correct.
Perhaps, there would be some positions, no?
Mhm.
Not everything. There would be some position that would really allow people to work
Mhm.
back probably ito yung mga nasa IT natin, ito yung mga
Mhm.
developers
Mhm.
na probably hindi talaga kailangan or kumbaga minimal yung human
Mhm.
connection. But
Right.
for people na meron talagang sabihin natin need to
Mhm.
see each other, this work from home arrangement may no longer be needed anymore.
Mhm.
Besides, nakikita naman natin, no, it's very important kasi the reason why the resistance is very high, probably, okay,
Mhm.
there is a very small or minimal amount doon sa change management program. You
Mhm.
mentioned earlier, even if they have uh, provided itong mga rewards, di ba?
Mhm.
Talagang ayaw pa rin pumasok.
Mhm.
Bakit kaya ayaw pumasok
Mhm.
ng mga tao? Um, this is also something that we have to look into. Baka
Mhm.
naman kaya talagang ayaw nilang pumasok, sobrang layo ng bahay nila o
Mhm.
sa tatrabahuhan nila. It could
Mhm.
be that way or probably there is no opportunity for them na makapag-travel ng mas easy. Okay,
Mhm.
commuting is really something challenging to these people. Aside from that, yung communication, kailan ba sila sinabi na, oh, back to work na. So it
Mhm.
has to be done na parang merong preparation yung grupo. The
Mhm.
good thing about our organization, no, before we announce that they have to return to work, talagang series of communications being sent to people and it doesn't happen overnight. Na parang, okay guys, let's go back to the office. Bukas, pasok na kayo. So,
Mhm.
merong isa-isa, hati-hati. What we did, nag 50% muna, unti-unti. Nagkaroon pa kami ng alternative uh, setup like this group will be reporting today, let's say in
Mhm.
HR,
Mhm.
half ng HR papasok this week and another half this week until gradual yung ginawa namin na okay, we really have to go back to the office. However, there are
Mhm.
still some people na allowed na mag-transition because they still provide naman the numbers. They can still prove that they are still performing well. However, in the future, we can still see now we will all 100% go back in the office.
Right, right. No, hybrid work arrangement is very tough. No, it's really tough.
Yes.
No, and of course, itong ating mga managers or leaders, no, they have to go through again some HR projects for them to have no a very good data, but at least they can
Yes.
explain clearly, no, to the employees as to why is what's the reason no behind them going back to the office. Of course, on select jobs, no, they would really be recommended to go back on site, no. So yes, no, it's very important to weigh the opportunities and challenges because sometimes, no, sabi nga ni Awi kanina, on select positions naman kung mayroon tayong mga employees na hirap sa location, meron tayong ginagawang location flexibility where pwede silang pumasok at least thrice a day on select positions, not all positions, no, or sometimes they have even a schedule flexibility, you know. So those are the arrangements. It's not easy as letting them know, oh, back on site na tayo, no. Marami pa rin na procedures, no, or processes na ginagawa pala ang mga leaders before we start to implement that back to office, no? Even considering replacements, no, in case that uh, pamilyado yung tao, takot talaga bumalik, no? Mahirap talaga silang i-persuade to go back, no, to on-site. So of course the attrition and even the turnover increases, no. And
Yes.
it's been happening to companies naman, no. It's not just a few companies, but this is being experienced by a lot of companies. So with that thought, no, I'd like to ask, how should, of course, no, um, leaders approach that situation where they can attract new talent, because it's hard to attract new talent nowadays, no, most especially that our competitors are very competitive. They offer a great rewards and recognition programs, even if you have a very good salary package, no, as long but if you have benefits that doesn't fit the needs, no, parang ang hirap eh. Pero how should leaders, no, approach this kind of situation? How can you attract new talents?
Actually, Jess, no, that's a very good question because I remember 3 or 4 years ago, when you interview candidates, they would always ask you questions like, ilang araw po ba ang day off?
Mm-hmm.
Di ba? There are companies who would provide 1 day off. There are companies who would provide 2 day offs or half day off on Saturday and
Right.
one full day on Sunday. So these are the common questions that employees would ask. Di
Mm-hmm.
ba? Of course, aside from the salary that they're looking into, it's more of how are they going to be more productive during
Mm-hmm.
the day on their day offs. Kaya tatanong na, ilan po ang day off?
Mm-hmm.
So now after the pandemic, ang question ng mga empleyado, are you okay for a work from home setup? Do
Mm-hmm.
you accept employees for work from home setup? Just
Mm-hmm.
like earlier, the other day, one
Mm-hmm.
of my cousin is an IT professional. So he
Mm-hmm.
is working for an account for abroad. So he was applying for this position. Then he asked me, Kuya, paano kung tatanggihan yung trabaho? Sabi niya
Mm-hmm.
ganun. Bakit mo patanggihan? Ikaw na nga nilalapitan. Ang dami naghahanap ng trabaho,
Right.
ikaw yung tatanggi. No,
Mm-hmm.
he told me, it looks like there are red flags
Mm-hmm.
that I have to report for work even on my day off. They would call me anytime of the day, things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very important that we attract talents that would be productive, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That they could have time during their day off. So that's one way of attracting candidates. And
Mm-hmm.
even the interviews pa lang siguro na I would really say, making them wait for a long time is really, really a red flag for the
Right.
candidates.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
not only that, when you attract talents, okay, it's very important that you respect their time, di ba? There would be candidates that are going to be called a few hours before the interview or
Mm,
sometimes a
got it.
day before
Mm-hmm.
the interview.
Mm-hmm.
So, parang we don't respect it. It would only show what kind of organization are this, di
Mm-hmm.
ba? Or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes naman they would schedule interview beyond the working hours. So it will give you an impression na, naku, napaka-bugbog sarado sa company to that you really have to work beyond your working hours. Tipong
Mm-hmm.
ganon. For me naman, there's nothing wrong about working overtime or
Right.
interviewing someone if parang
Mm-hmm.
you would ask a candidate, can I interview you ng between 8 to 5, and they would say, I am at work, so can we do it after working hours? So there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong about that, but you schedule the candidate beyond the working hours, parang it's a red flag. So
Mm-hmm.
these are small things on how are we going to attract the candidate, diba? Second to that, what can we offer not only for them but for their families?
Mm-hmm.
Diba? It is very attractive kasi na, uy, kasama pala sa pangarap ko yung pamilya ko. The
Mm-hmm.
simple HMO extended to one family,
Mm-hmm.
diba? This is really something good to attract the talents. Talents nowadays, ang nakikita ko, they are no longer looking at the salary.
Mm-hmm.
Though, majority pa rin yan ang
Of course.
tinitingnan
Yeah.
nila. But
Mm-hmm.
aside from that, they would always look into the benefits and how can they enjoy their life during their day off.
Right.
Another
Right.
candidate that we had last time, no, she was interviewed in our company, and she was also interviewed to another company. Ang tanong ko sa kanya, naku, dalawa kami pala nag-interview sa'yo. So
Mhm.
kung sakasakali, sinong pipiliin mo? Of
Mhm.
course po, pipiliin ko kung sino po ang magbibigay sa akin ng magandang benepisyo at
Mhm.
maging masaya ako.
Mhm.
Culture is another thing. Diba?
Right.
So how are we going to make sure that employee, sabi nga, hindi lang talaga uh, dapat suit na magaling yung candidate, dapat suited din siya sa culture. Ano ba yung pwede niyang gawin in the organization para mag-thrive siya, para maging masaya siya sa organization.
Mhm. Right, very interesting, no? If we want to attract new talents, let's start from the candidate experience as you shared, no?
Yes.
Um, ito kasi ang list prioritized previously ng mga employers, no? Them lining up candidates na wala silang proper schedule o ito 9 a.m. Kahit kayong 10 posisyon, ano kayo, pwede na kayong pumasok sa office and then just wait for your name to be called, no? Talagang walang schedule, no? But now, no, they're beginning to appreciate and show value sa ating candidate experience, no? So this way this will help them attract new talents in case at least kung hindi man sila matanggap, masabi nila na ang ganda ng experience nila, no? They can even refer, right? Kasi
Yes.
natuwa sila eh. Kahit na hindi sila natanggap, they can even refer other candidates. Ito, apply ka dito. They have a very good candidate experience, no? So it's nice that you have mentioned that, and that's actually true if we want to attract new talents, most especially checking the benefits that is relevant and
Mm.
will be benefited by the employees, no? Else if we check, no, our benefits package, if it's not beneficial, then sayang ang
Mhm.
ininvest natin money, no? So it's best to
That's right.
check the benefits from time to time. Of course, in that case, I would also like to ask, no, pag-usapan naman natin ngayon from attracting to retaining. How can now businesses retain talents, no? When employees' top concerns are job security, personal and family wealth, health, no, and of course burnout. Yan kasi currently challenges ngayong pandemic period. Most especially those working at home, nawala na talaga ang work-life balance. Akala nila
Yes.
when they work at home, may work-life balance. No? Parang hindi pala. Sabi ng mga ibang mothers, no, most especially single parents, they juggle their tasks, no, from work and pag-aalaga ng anak, pagluluto, pag-iya, kasi nandun sila eh. Meaning, the household members will be still very dependent on their parents, no? Kaya parang antindi ng burnout even at 11 p.m., 12 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. nagwo-work pa, mas extended pa ang work hours compared to them working on site, no? So how can businesses retain talents like these people, no, experiencing these tough scenarios or tough situations?
This is really a good question, Jess. No, I really like this one. Actually, what I was supposed to answer you kanina nung tanong mo, how are we going to attract talents? I was supposed to tell you, instead of thinking how do we attract talents, we have to focus on how we take good care of our talents. Because
Correct.
these
Mm-hmm.
talents are already inside the organization and you
Mm-hmm.
have already invested a lot of things or a lot of yun nga, na bagay for these people. You just
Mm-hmm.
need to learn how to take good care of them. And how do we take good care of them? You have to find out their needs. Diba? Sabi nga, you have to give them reason to stay.
Mm-hmm.
One, of
Right.
course, you have to create an environment where people would be able to feel that they belong to the organization. That's
Mm-hmm.
why DNI is very important in
Mm-hmm.
diversity and
Mm-hmm.
inclusion, so that people would feel that I belong in this organization, that
Mm-hmm.
my concerns, my suggestions would
Mm-hmm.
really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Merong makikinig sa akin.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever my orientation is, no, hindi ako ma-judge. So,
Mm-hmm.
we have to create this kind of environment and add this into our culture.
Mm-hmm.
Second, of course, it's very important that company alone will not only think of its growth. The company should also think how the organization or the people inside the organization will grow. Minsan kasi ang
Mm-hmm.
naiisip ng company, kita tayo, kita, di ba? Paano naman yung mga empleyado natin? We have
Mhm.
to take good care of how are we going to make their lives a lot better, di ba?
Mhm.
Very simple. Sabi ko nga, mag-add tayo ng mga bagay na hindi tayo kailangan maglabas immediately ng
Mhm.
pera. Ano yung mga
Right.
yan? Of course, we have to look at their uh, SLVL. Gaano
Mhm.
ba karaming SLVL ng mga empleyado natin? Sometimes, of course, because sa batas, 5 days service incentive leave, dahil ito
Mhm.
ang nasa batas, most company would just apply 5 days
The
service incentive.
minimum, yeah. Mhm.
Have the minimum. Nakakalungkot yung empleyado pa nagkasakit, di ba? Yun na, or there are some occasions that they would like to enjoy, hindi nila ma-enjoy. So these
Mhm.
are the things na pwede nating pag-isipan, di ba?
Mhm.
We could look at the employees' welfare, especially their health, di ba? Now, hindi lang yung physical health, it is also their mental health. In our
Right.
company right now, dati ang focus namin before the pandemic, it's the physical health. We have a lot of
Mhm.
forums. Pero ngayon, pinakamaraming forums namin talking about mental health.
Mhm.
Because stress, hindi lang kasi sa trabaho ang stress eh.
Right.
Even in the family, personal life, nandoon yung stress. So we want to take good
Mhm.
care of these employees because if you would take good care of these employees, they themselves will become productive and
Correct.
they will really work hard. Then
Mhm.
siguro on the other side naman, no, we have to look at what are the rewards that we could give to our employees.
Mhm.
Diba? And adding to this, we have to look and find ways on how can we enable people to work properly. Because
Mhm.
sometimes, like kung natin sinasabi, oh, ayusin yung trabaho. Pero when we look at the systems, when we look
Mhm.
at the processes, ang daming sablay. Then
Mhm.
sisisihin natin sa empleyado. So these are the things that we have to look into to make people stay in the organization. And of course, kung pwede talagang i-develop, pagandahin
Right.
yung nating retirement plan ni
Mhm.
company.
Mhm.
Because these are the things that would make people think na, oh, kapag nagstay ako, I will be rewarded.
Mhm.
So they are maybe baby steps, but they are very important and they are critical in taking good care of the talent. And again, it is all about the culture. In most cases, employees would leave not because mababa ang sweldo,
Mhm.
mahirap ang trabaho,
Mhm.
malayo. It's all about the culture toxic. Ang hirap kausap ng boss ko. Hindi ko
Mhm.
man lang masabihan ng problema ko, hindi man lang ako makapag-suggest. But if we would make people feel or the employees feel that they belong and they matter in the organization, definitely they would stay.
Mhm. Right, right, right. Thank you for that. No, it's really, an opportunity for us to learn every day. No, as we tackle these changes, because these changes, is on a daily basis, right? No, kasi if we are to
Yes.
look back 5 years from now and compare our organization previously, today, nako, ang dami palang changes, no? And from that, of course, I'd like to know, based on your experience, uh, what changes have you observed ba apart from work at home arrangement? Ano yung mga processes na nag-change? Meron ba, for example, kung dati ba job offers, no, ay talagang disulat pa, ngayon mukhang pwede na yatang digital, no?
On yes,
What are
digital.
the processes that has affected yung organization mo when it comes to digital transformation? Are there
So
any ba, or as of the moment, or uh, you're looking at implementing those projects?
So we have a lot of things that we're doing in the organization right now, but some of them are really confidential. Hindi ko
Right,
pwedeng
right, right. Oo.
divulge in
Trade
at the moment.
secrets.
But one of the biggest
Mhm.
things that happens, no, uh, yung pagiging digitalized almost everything. Okay?
Mhm.
Siguro, it may sound parang, oh, dapat noon pa kayo ganito. Sa timekeeping, we became systematized.
Mhm.
Considering that I started with approximately 500 employees in our company.
Right.
Now we're almost 5,000.
Grabe.
So
Mhm.
big leap from uh, 2012 to
Mm-hmm.
this year. So we have already adjusted. Sabi ko nga, that time, for 500 people, there are 4 people working for timekeeping. And during the timekeeping period, sandamakmak na papel ang kanilang pinaprocess and they don't
Mm-hmm.
sleep talaga. So these
Mm-hmm.
are the things that we automated and it makes a lot of sense and it is really useful from the body clock na mano-mano.
Right, right,
So these are the things that we adapted. And
right.
the job offer, no, you don't really have to ask people to go in the office, oh, pirma dito, pirma ganyan.
Mm-hmm.
You just
Mm-hmm.
send them the paper, then send it back with their digital signature.
Right.
Uh, Probably meeting, not only in the, ano na, in the labor relations
Mm-hmm.
side. Di ba
Mm-hmm.
dati, kung meron ka ididisiplinang empleyado, they have to go to
Right.
the office,
Mm-hmm.
doon kayo mag-usap. Ngayon, with the technology, you can talk wherever the person is. Especially in our company, we are located almost nationwide. We are
Mm-hmm.
operating in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And very challenging kapag ang empleyado mo sa Mindanao ang merong ginawang hindi maganda at kailangan niyang madisiplina, hindi mo naman papupuntahin pa yan sa Metro Manila para
Right,
pakisabi.
right. Mm-hmm.
So those are the benefits of digitalizing things and with the technology nga, no, it makes things a lot easier, nagiging mas productive yung team.
Mm. And it's always never too late, right? Kasi, of course, the organizations, lalo na operating 30 years na in the business, they're so used to these old processes, no, na nakikita naman nila they're productive, they can see that they have a lot of control, no. But right now, mukhang na-shatter itong old ways, no. They
Yes.
began to adapt. Else, no, mahuhuli sila. This pandemic really forced organizations to adapt, no, and adapt, no, to these scenarios, no, as adopting to digital platforms where previously hindi naman natin ginagawa, and it's okay, no. It's never too late, even if our viewers right now, no, watching na hindi pa sila nag-adapt sa mga digital platforms, no, it's never too late, no. You can always ask employers as to how they adapt, no, to these changes o kamusta yung experience nila. It's never too late, no. And of course this will definitely help out organizations, no, automating processes. Now I'd also like to ask a question. Actually, it's a scary question where we do not want this situation na ma-face natin ulit, no. For example, in times like this, is it too late to prepare for succession planning in case, no, another katok-katok tayo, no, surge happens this year again, no? If no, how do we build our succession plan from scratch, no?
I would say it's not too late. I remember my boss in a previous company
Mm-hmm.
because we're talking about succession planning. There's a lot of managers who are afraid of succession planning because
Right.
one thing that they're thinking, if I train this person and is better than me,
Mm-hmm.
he would replace me in the future.
Right.
But my mindset is different. Eh.
Mm-hmm.
When I started my career, I would always think I would help my boss. I would give my best and support to my boss because my mindset way back then, dapat ma-promote yung boss ko
Mm-hmm.
para ma-promote ako. At gagawa ko
Mm-hmm.
ng paraan para ako ang maging daan para ma-promote yung boss ko. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a mature thinking. And just like me, I would always think that I would work out with people who are better than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I am surrounded with good people, I could make my work a lot better than the others.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? So it's more of maturity lang kasi ang
Right.
kailangan dito.
Right.
Just
Mm-hmm.
no, one of the reasons why succession planning would fail because the people doing the succession planning or the managers are afraid to teach people.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that they should always remember yun nga, no, that they have to train people because these are the people that would continue the legacy in the organization. My boss would
Right.
always na you really have to work on the succession planning. What if nasagasaan niya ng rumaragas ang pison?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sino ang ipapalit mo sa tao na yan.
Mhm.
So as an HR, it's a very important that we know the people that we are working with. So
Right.
these are the people that we could recommend and
Mhm.
to be promoted. One of the things that I'm very happy in HR, if I would see people I'm working with being promoted,
Mhm.
because you would see that there are changes, there are progress with the career of the people you are working with, and mas masarap maramdaman na napopromote yung mga tao na yun because you are an agent for that change and
Right,
for
right. Mhm.
promotion of that person.
Mhm.
Kasi you would give them parang opportunity to be promoted,
Mhm.
diba? Rather than pulling down people.
Right.
Succession planning, it's not naman na ito ang papalit sa'yo agad eh.
Mm,
Di ba?
mm,
Sabi nga, when you talk about succession planning, you always have to think, what if walang tao inside?
mm.
Di
Right.
ba? You can buy talent outside
Mhm.
or you can borrow talent outside. So
Mhm.
these are the thinking. Ang importante sa succession planning is that we have to think for the betterment of the organization.
Mhm.
Minsan kasi talagang selfish mindset na,
Right,
"Uy,
right. Mhm.
wala akong available sa tao ko." The
Oo.
question is, ano bang ginagawa mo para maging available yung mga
Mhm.
tao mo?
Mhm.
HR is not the only people manager.
Mhm.
Kailangan mismo even the people in the
Shared
operation,
responsibility.
they know.
Mhm.
Yeah, we share the same responsibility on how we take good care of our people.
Right, right,
Yun.
no? That's very true, no? Sometimes even the succession planning is influenced by those factors, no? And it's hard to succeed, no, if we want to implement or strengthen our succession planning if it's no, if it's being manifested by factors na nahihirapan tayo makasucceed, no? Kasi at the end of the day, our goal is to produce leaders, right? It's not to
Yes, that's true.
retain leaders, no? But to produce one, no? Of course, hindi naman pwedeng 105 ka na, ikaw pa rin na nagli-lead, no? For example, pinayagan ka na hindi mag-retire. Of course, hindi yun, no? Of course, you want to bring new ideas, no? By bringing new ideas, of course, you have to bring in new talents, new leaders, no? New breed of leaders, no? So there, yes, very interesting conversation, no? Most especially the succession planning, no? It's never too late, no, to plan for succession planning, and most especially that um, kung man may mangyaring search na ganon, no, we're prepared, no, because
That's right.
of course, no, hindi natin mapipigilan if we have to downsize, no. Are the leaders, no, uh, built, no, for these changes like merging positions, no, are they designed na lead yung mga ibang klaseng positions naman, no? Of course we have to prepare them, no, and by doing this, of course, we have to be very genuine in preparing our succession planning, no. Thank you for the
If I may
idea.
add also, Jester, no,
Sure.
as leaders din kasi, we have to upscale our skills, di
Mm-hmm.
ba? Hindi, learning doesn't end, di
Right.
ba? Hindi kasi porque manager ka na, you know everything.
Correct.
Right now, you can be an HR manager, but
Mm-hmm.
being as a good HR manager, alam mo yung takbo ng mga tao, alam mo
Mm-hmm.
yung takbo ng business,
Mm-hmm.
alam mo paano tingnan yung finance, di ba?
Right.
On that kind of perspective, you can be the next uh, head of operations, or you
Mm-hmm.
could be the good COO or even
Mm-hmm.
CEO in the organization.
Right.
Sabi nga, di ba, right now, dati ang tinitingnan, finance. But now
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of consideration about HR managers being, ito yung HR managers are now being considered yung pinaka-consultant ng
Right.
organization because
Mhm.
everything that happens in the organization is affected by people.
Correct.
So
Mhm.
it's very important that we also have to upskill yung talent ng mga managers natin.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I think na mukhang naalala ko itong terms na to that employees now are practicing, and hopefully most individuals are doing this, no? Sinatawag nilang learn, unlearn and relearn, no?
Yes.
We have to unlearn the old ways where it's not relevant now, it's not useful now kasi yun ang pinakamahirap as unlearning. Mas madaling matuto versus unlearning because
Yes.
it's hard to let go of the things that we've learned previously, right? So yes, thank you for that, no? And of course, no, that ends no our conversation, no? Mukhang nakakabitin itong ating season finale, no? Mukhang gusto pa natin mas pag-usapan pa, no? And of course, no, yan, we can continue the conversation sa inyong mga companies, no? Kayo as leaders, no, as viewers, you can continue this conversation, no, to your organization. Now it's time to check, no. Now it's time to manage these changes, no, and to act on this, of course, no. So of course, it is very obvious that we will have to learn not to deal with changes every now and then. Well, adjusting to change is never easy, of course, but fighting it will only keep us back, no. But we don't really have to fight these changes, no. Companies must really be proactive in adopting and implementing changes that benefits not only for the organization, but as Awi said, for the individuals and employees. No? So in today's ever-changing world, making a change, no, as simple as to implement, no, the small possibilities is very critical. So for the most part, of course, make teams and enthusiastic about these changes by, of course, no, letting them know kung ano yung magiging result nito. Will let them feel that they are part of the organization, that they're part of the change, no, rather than them just letting them know ito yung mga changes, no. So of
Yes.
course, this has a very great impact, no, of us managing the change sa ating organization. With that, of course, before we end our conversation, we would like to throw away some messages, no, sa ating mga viewers, no, experiencing changes in the organization.
Yeah, change doesn't happen overnight. But
Mm-hmm.
those people who are embracing change are those who thrive and succeed in the organization. Without change, nothing would happen. We cannot keep on staying where we are. We have
Right.
to move further. We have to
Mm-hmm.
grow. And part
Mm-hmm.
of growing is change.
Right. Naku, napakaganda naman nung iniwan mong mensahe, no? I'm sure that professionals and leaders will be inspired. Again, this is a shared responsibility. It's not really the responsibility of leaders or people managers, no? It's everyone's responsibility, no? To of course, no, take care of each other, no, through other ways, not just through salary adjustment, but even how
Yes.
we empathize, no, with our employees or individuals. And with that, of course, no, would like to thank everyone, no, our viewers, no, for watching us, no, this our season ending episode, no. And of course, if you're interested in becoming a Clark HR Council member, no, just go to clarkhrcouncil.org/join, and of course get the many benefits, no, na pwede nyong makuha, no. This is not exclusive for the Clark community, but even sa Central Luzon, no? You can be part of the CHRC kahit na nasa labas ka pa ng Clark or Angeles, as long as you're within the zone of Central Luzon. You get to benefit from the free, no, HR and labor updates from us. You get to access the Ask HR. This is an HR forum serving as collaboration and networking platform, no. Of course, with unlimited job post, meron din kayong access dito sa aming job link portal, no. You can also manage unlimited candidates here, and you get to receive member insights from review updated insights on employer compliance, labor market, DOLE forms and guidelines. We even provide free HR templates for those organizations na hindi ganun ka strength, ganun ka ganda yung kanilang HR team. For example, sa maliliit na organizations, we provide HR templates, no, so that you can share and download HR templates, no, for every HR employee situation. We even have a providers directory in case that you are looking for providers. We have an updated list of HR vendors, no, and service providers for every requirement. We even have an HR library so you can continuously grow. With an access to full editions of HR related ebooks. We even conduct job fairs, no? and then weekly learning sessions such as this, and of course, general membership meetings. So, of course, be a council member today. Again, if you want to be a council member today, join via clarkhrcouncil.org/join. And with that, of course, we would like to formally close this event with a pasasalamat sa ating viewers. And of course, thank you for watching us. And we hope to see you soon sa ating next season. And with that, of course, ingat sila ng marami. Okay, so bye for now, Auie and the viewers. Ayan, bye. Thank you, everyone.
Everyone.
The Philippines is being called Asia's rising tiger. But what exactly does this mean? Posting a GDP growth of 6.7% in 2017, the country has one of the fastest growing economies in the world, expanding at a rate unseen in the last 5 decades. The good news is, it's just getting started. The better news is that we have designed a brand new city to be the nucleus of this economic renaissance. Less than 1 hour from the capital, Manila, straddled by hills and blessed with tropical climate all year long. We are building the city of the future, a landmark development twice the size of Manhattan. Originally developed by the Americans for its secure and strategic location in Asia Pacific, Clark is being transformed into a disaster-resilient metropolis that will be competitive and attractive to a global market. It will consist of 4 main districts. The Clark Freeport Zone, an existing mixed-use complex established in the 90s. Clark Global City, which will serve as the primary business district. And New Clark City, which will house satellite government offices and a first-class sports village. Central to all of this is Clark International Airport, which will soon be expanded to accommodate up to 80 million passengers a year. This ensures that travel will be comfortable while trade is seamless. A city unmatched in connectivity, with access to world-class highways and the service of high-speed railways, connecting north to south and east to west, across surrounding seas and over oceans. Clark is a city built as living proof that business in this part of the world is not only easy, but simply better. with no red tape, lower taxes, and endless investment opportunities. This is a city prepared to attract talent so that the country's best and brightest will come here to work and choose to call this place home. Because this is a city that knows how to play, where you can unwind at your own speed, where safety is paramount, and people always come first. This is a city where history and culture thrive, where modern conveniences meet timeless traditions, and progress is driven by passion. This is a city with limitless ambition that may someday find itself among the great cities of the world, built for business so that time is always well spent, and built for people so that life is always well lived. This is Clark.